Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, and welcome back to our TOCA Race Driver 3 Career Mode, Episode 17. I was kind of debating with myself what championship to pick, but considering that here, Episode 13 and Episode 14, I couldn't get them to upload for some reason or other. What I'll do is, for this one, I'll do the HPDC V8 Supercar Series. So, the tracks: Bathurst, which I hate, Phillip Island, Eastern Creek and Queensland. So the last three are fine for me, but the first one is going to be a massive pain in my backside. So, let's go in for Bathurst qualifying. I have done a couple of runs at this before, but essentially it's this track here that I just can't race at. I just hate this track, so I just can't do it. Okay. Yeah, let's not do it a lap then. Let's just start it again. Try and do one lap, and let's see what we can do. If I can get under a 150, I'll be kind of happy with that. As we do completely miss the apex for turn 1, but there we go. We have no marker cars anywhere around us to kind of give us an indication of how quick we are going. But yeah, Bathurst, it seems like a nice track, but on this game, it just doesn't really work. This is all right so far, but you'll see the massive point when we begin our descent down the hill. So currently, all we're doing is climbing the hill, and that left-hander is a real pain, I'll be honest with you. Because in the race, it seems that the car does not like turning in. All of a sudden, it's got no front-end bite to it, but it's all flat out as we reach the crescent of the hill right here. And now we come down the hill, and this is where it gets really clunky, especially on that first lap. Right, so restarting it, hopefully for the last time. Let's see what we can do. So restarting it for the last time, hopefully now. Let's see what we can do. First corner, want to brake fairly late, but we do miss the apex, which is a shame. As I was saying, Bathurst, not my favourite track by any stretch of the imagination. When I used to play this game before, I'd always skip any series with Bathurst in it because it is a massive pain for me. You could just lift off for turn 2 there, but now heading up the hill properly. I'll show you why I hate this track in a second. It just all seems to understeer a bit too much, if that makes sense. But the main problem is when you start heading down the hill. So we're still ascending the hill here, and we're about to reach the crescent just after this left-hander. Right, so here we go, reaching the crescent of the hill. And now you go down the hill and it's so twisty. And obviously as you're going down the hill, obviously it's harder to brake because you're going down a hill. No, are you kidding me? Right. We just need to get a lap in, because the laps feel okay. And that's a good exit through turn 1 this time. So finally. Now let's just carry it through. It's a very long lap, almost 2 minutes here at Bathurst. But up this long straight, a lot of long straights here, as V8 Supercar Series seems to need that, just by considering the kind of tracks that we go to. Queensland, a lot of long straights there, but we missed the braking point. Have to brake early for that left-hander, but it's all flat out now again. Going up the hill, don't want to really ride that curb. Yeah, as I was saying, Eastern Creek and Phillip Island, not a track with long straights, more about downforce, those kind of tracks. But yeah, let's see when we get there. Those I'm expecting to be my strong track. So here we go down the hill. Want to brake early, trail braking all the way through this section. And we do a decent job, to be fair to us. And we do run wide again, but this time I don't try to power through it. And now down this long straight. Downhill, goes up and down. and you get a really fast right-hander coming up, but it's only a kink, so it's not too difficult to take it. But then heavy braking into the left-right chicane. Want to brake just before the 100-meter board. If you can make it this far on your first attempt of your first lap at this race, you've done a good job. I will be honest. Braking nice and early as we do run a bit wide. What's the lap time going to be? It's not looking too shabby. Let's see where that puts us for the race. Probably about 15th place or something like that. 14th. Okay, so not bad. Within 4 seconds. And there is more time to be found. So let's see what we can do. Starting on the inside of the track. Here for our first attempt at Bathurst.
This championship's all about winning.
You know what? I think I might just include all the restarts that I have to do. Whoa. Attempt 1 over. Attempt 2. Let's see what we can do. I'm probably not going to include all the attempts. I might include maximum 3, but I will show the fact that there were like loads of attempts for this race. Let's just trail brake. See, they brake and attempt 2 over. They brake so late, but their car's fine. My car blows up and it just can't handle it going down.
It's all down to you now.
And it's a terrible start this time, and we drop down into 15 straight off the line, but we get a decent exit this time round. As we move back, we will move back up into 14th place through this left-hander.
Try to keep the damage so visible.
Attempt 3 over. Attempt 4. An okay start this time. Yeah, I'm not finishing first, mate. Let's see what we can do. Quite nicely. Don't want him going down our inside at all there.
The tyres are running at a perfect temperature. Keep it up.
Attempt 4 over. Attempt 5.
You've got a chance for big things.
Okay.
Through this championship.
Go on, let's go, 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 go. Go on, keep pushing, push me. Church air conditioning. Still in 14, there's no way through in this series. It's horrible. I hate this track. It's like a Monaco. They do call it the Monaco V8 Supercars, I believe. But we are still in 14th. I'm not sure how the point system works, but hopefully we can pick up some points for this. See, he brakes that. I don't brake. And he really bangs us into the wall there.
Ouch. You alright?
You know what? I'm going to retire from the race. Let's just go straight into Phillip Island. I hate Bathurst. I hate it so much. Right, Phillip Island. I know this track very well. Flat out through the first corner, and this is one of the best corners off the track now. Turn 2. Just keep your momentum as you go all the way round. Oh, that was sweet. I do this championship a lot for the Honda NSX and Nissan 350Z series. So yeah, here we go. We're going to brake just after the 100-meter board. See, the car handles well on this track, but not at Bathurst. Flat out through the right kink, and that is almost going to be flat out through this left-hander. Let's just see how it holds. It will just hold flat out throughout the entire bit. And we do have to just do a bit of braking at the end, so we'll do one more lap just to try and get a quicker lap time in, but it feels quick enough. There doesn't seem to be much more time to gain on the track. Flat out through the right-hander. Bit of trail braking through the left-hander as we carry as much speed as we dare. We're going to brake off to the 100 this time. Oh, I'll just put the power on and lose the back end. But here we're going to try to go for the exit speed, and we do get it quite nice, and we are catching the guys ahead, so not too shabby at the minute. Flat out through this long left-hander, practically a hairpin, but it's here where you want to gain time. Brake before the 50, and we do take it much quicker than last time. Still a couple of tenths to be found there, but we will end our qualifying laps after this one. So it's our second lap that was the quickest, it would seem, but let's just be certain of that. Is it going to be a 114? 114.9. Let's see where that puts us for the race. First place, nice. So we had a 115.2, I think it was, which would have put us in about 4th place. Oh, I can't see the current championship standings, but I do want to see how many points you get for race positions. Okay, so it's not telling us. Right, let's just see if we can get a good start, stay out of trouble, and have a nice flag to finish race. We're going to move over straight to the outside just to block off Mr. Black and White car. Now over to the inside, and we'll be able to pull away from those guys who are all getting involved in their own incidents. I do not want to be involved in any of those shenanigans. We're going to get our head down and leave them for dust. I said Phillip Island will be one of my stronger tracks in this series, and that is already seeming to be the case as we are pulling a massive lead here on the first lap of Phillip Island. Won't need any restarts for this one, that's for sure. See, it's in these situations where I'm not sure how much commentary I should do. Do you guys prefer it if you just like to hear essentially the engine sound of the car, or do you prefer it if I do commentate over the top and explain what's going through my head at every corner essentially? Or would you like to see more of a mixture of both, you know, leave one lap where I'm not commentating at all and you can just hear the car going around the corners, or, you know, I talk you through every single little bit of it? So coming into the first corner, wanting to make sure you're all the way to the left and a nice sweeping line in. Use as little steering as you dare. Now for turn 2, just a bit of trail braking. Get the power back on as soon as you can. And look how much we pull from second and third. Flat out through this left-hander. We're going to brake at the 100-meter board. Get the power on nicely. And a decent exit. Bring it back over to the right, and again just try to get that power back on as soon as you can. Hopefully third falls back a bit. We do want to catch up to first in this championship. Right, it's going to be flat out through this left-hander. Again, try to take a nice sweeping line in. You want to be on the left-hand side of the track for the exit. Brake nice and early. This is the sharpest corner on the track, and that's where they catch us. It is through the low speed corners that they are able to catch us. Through all the high speed corners we are fine. And a nice exit, trying to take the line of least resistance, letting the car drift by itself back over to the left hand side of the track. 14.3 faster than what we did in qualifying by about 6 tenths I believe. Flat out through turn 1. And just a dab on the brakes through turn 2. We get a nice sweet exit. Look how far second and third are ahead of fourth. These guys are quick, and we're able to beat them, which is really good news for us. Just a little lift to get the car to turn in and then put the pedal straight back on. Just 1.5 laps remaining. We have to make no mistakes now, otherwise if we do make a mistake they will be right on our tail. Again, brake nice and early. This time we don't drop into first gear, which is really good. You can just tap the curb for the left-hander. Oh, tapping the curb on the exit, it's unsettled the car. Stay away. I remember they mentioned this in the F1 games. If you use the curbs, it's quicker, but it wears out your tyres more. So for when you're essentially in just cruising mode, stay off the curbs. That might be a decent piece of advice I can give. So we'll do this lap. We're just cruising now. Last lap of the race. Although that isn't really cruising. I mean, we do have to have a fair bit of concentration, especially when we are semi-drifting around those corners. You can hear the tires squeal. We do have to lift off the throttle there, otherwise the back end may have stepped out on us. It's a good exit through the left hairpin as we have about half a lap to go. There's only one real corner where we can make a mistake now, and that's the right hairpin that's about to come up. Remember, nice sweeping line. We're going to brake nice and early for it though. We don't want any mistakes here on the last lap. And that's a really nice exit actually. And that's the thing, when you don't push too hard, you actually go quicker. Because you're in your own groove, you're in your rhythm, and you're not making any mistakes. That's what happens when you just relax a bit. So when you race, don't sit up really close and be aggressive. Just, sit back, relax, and do your thing. And there you go, another quickest lap, 14.26. Every lap was in the 14s with the exception of the first. So it would seem that even last place gets points. So I made a big mistake. I should have just kept on racing and taken, a 15th place or something. Would have been 60 extra points. But we have moved up the championship. And hopefully after the next race we can move maybe even into the top 5. Because 192 points. So we got 192 points. Yeah? We would have had 6 if we had come last. But because we didn't, we're now on 192 here. So we would have been on 198, even more if we had just kept going. Eastern Creek, let's go. I know this track as well. So these next 2 tracks I do know. Hopefully we can get another 2 wins. And we probably will need it for the championship. Flat out through turn 1. Let the car out. Line of least resistance. Where should we brake? Let's brake about here. 75 meter board. We get the power on and it holds it around the outside. But probably better to slow it a bit more next time and keep it tighter to the apex. Let's see how quickly we can take this right-hander. Just a little lift on the exit. Left-hander will also be not flat out, but we come right. So taking the right-hander flat out compromised us for that left-hander. That's essentially what happened there. But it will be flat out through this left-hander. Brake just before the 50. Okay, braking just before the 50 is a bit early, I think, so I can brake just after next time. But we did get a nice run as a result. Flat out, dab on the brakes. And here we go to finish our first lap. What will it be, a 110 I think? No, 111. 111 flat. Okay, let's try and get into the 10s for this next lap. Flat out through turn 1. Going to brake a bit later for turn 2. And that is much nicer this time. That's easily half a second there already. Right, remember we don't want to take this one flat out. We just want to have a little lift so we can pull the car back over to the left so we can take the left-hander even quicker. We get a really nice run through that left-hander as we come into the second left-hander and now entering what is a roundabout corner on the short section on the short lap when you cut through behind us. That you guys know what cut through I'm talking about. But yeah, I call it the roundabout corner. If you remember to some of the previous races that we had. We get a really nice run through the last corner, and we have pulled away from first, and it looks a lot quicker. Can it be a 1 minute 10 this time around? 1 minute 10.87, so not bad at all. Let's see where that puts us for the race. 9th place. A second off, but let's see what we can do. And first place is starting in last. As in... So I saw first place that we were pulling away from him through the qualifying lap. So I thought that we must have been really quick. But we get one person around the outside, now going for the inside. And we are up into 6th place. Let's try and challenge for that win.
Great overtaking.
I'm interested to see where I will be losing time to these guys.
You're trying to win the race, but you're just trying to stop everyone else from finishing.
Going to go down the inside for the quick left-hander. And we are on the outside now. Ooh. He does turn into us there, but we move up into 4th. And that is on the first lap alone. So hopefully we will be able to gain some massive points here today. With first place in the series right at the back of the grid, things are looking good for us. We're going to go for the outside. He goes defensive, Mr. Diamond Cars. He has better speed.
You can win this.
He's going quite quick, but let's see, down the inside into turn 2. We do make it stick. Look at the lines, the tyre marks being left, as everyone's just wheel spinning through that corner, tyres squealing and all of that. Let's lift off on the entry, get the power on nice and early. Oh, right out onto the curb. Curb just started just at the perfect point for us.
You're in the points now. Push for a top 2 finish.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, mate. We've gained 1 place on this lap, maybe 1 place on the next lap, and another place on the lap after. And we are quick through that hairpin as we're right on the tail of 2nd now. Round the outside of the final corner, what a move! That was insane!
Come on, just this car to beat for first place.
108.6, what a lap!
The fastest lap of the race.
Come on, 2 laps to get first, no mistakes, Yusuf. As we get the move through, but we outbrake ourselves ever so slightly, just a little bit. Come on, please don't go down my inside. We're going to go flat out in and then brake, just so that he can't get down our inside and send us spinning. Get on the power as soon as we can. We are pulling back from 3rd, catching back up to 1st. Come on. And we're up into 1st place through the hairpin. We did a nice Daniel Ricciardo switch. He's an Aussie too. In this Aussie series, our only Aussie track. So, not bad. So yeah, I mean, we did clip him on the switch, but it was a nice move regardless. And we are up into 1st. No mistakes through the 2nd hairpin, the 2nd corner, and we will be fine. It's still a quick lap, 109.7. That would have seen us into 1st place in qualifying. Look who's looking at us. But it's fine. We brake much later than they do. And we do have 1st place here. And it looks like it is practically wrapped up. Let's just be sensible now throughout the last part of the track. Nice lift through the right-hander. Lift through the left-hander. And we get a good exit through. I'm just calling them left and right-handers because I don't know the names of any of these corners. Eastern Creek in this car does seem to be an extremely nice series, a fun track, a nice track I mean. On the short track I don't really like it in, especially the Clio Cups, but for the V8 Supercars it is a nice track, I'll give it that. I have been quick to diss this track in the past, but it's decent. And we are going to take our second win of the series in the third race. Get in there. Whew. And it's another 192 points to add, and we are up into 5th place. Let me just check what the objectives are. Finish 3rd or above. We will have to win here, but let's hope that 1st, 2nd and 3rd are quite far down the order. So for this first corner, I want to get all the way to the left, kind of similar to Donington Park for that entry. Flat out through the first 2 corners. Don't touch the curbs. I learnt the hard way that you don't want to do that. It will send your car spinning. Right, I can't remember the braking point, but we'll brake just after the 100-meter board. Yeah, this track is just 90-degree corners. There's not even... it's just 90-degree corners. That's fine by me. We'll be able to get a better run through this final corner this time. So when you do qualifying, you don't want your fastest lap to be on the first lap, because the AI does the exit through that last corner for you, and you will generally be quicker than the AI through a last corner. So remember, flat out through turn 1, flat out through turn 2. Get close to the curb, but don't touch it. And remember, we want to brake just before the 100-meter board for this corner. And it is an opening apex. It widens on the exit, so you can carry speed through, which I haven't been doing. Right, where will we brake? We'll brake just at the start of the cones. We could have braked a bit later. So we'll brake a bit later through the cones the next time round. In between the marker boards for that braking point. Remember, we don't want to be overconfident heading into qualifying. We want to do as many laps because we do need to win this race. I'm not sure if it's a must-win race. I didn't do any calculations. I mean, you saw me look through the standings. Back up into 6th. Right, let's brake at the same kind of point that we did last time. It was a bit better this time. Hopefully we can get into the 54s. I can't remember what kind of time we need to do for this. And I think we carried even more speed this time through this double left-hander. And that was with braking later. Right, where will we brake? Let's brake even later. Third gear, not really tyre squealing or any of that. So 54, 55.4. Let's see where that puts us for the race. It is in 7th place. Okay, this is going to be a fun race. Here at the Queensland Park Raceway, the last race of the season. We're starting down the inside, and it's an okay start. Not the best start ever, but 5th and 4th are right there. 3rd place is all the way back at the back of the grid. You can see the other silver car down there, as we're going to go for the inside into turn 2, and we make it stick. I can't really switch over to the outside now. Hopefully he doesn't turn in on us. He is turning in on us, but it's fine. We'll just outbrake him then. But it's fine. We are still in 6th. We should have moved up to 5th, but mistakes are mistakes, and we'll live with them. Okay, let's restart that one. I completely misjudged. I thought the car would turn in a bit quicker, but there we go. Right, so let's go 2nd attempt here at Queensland Raceway. Decent start. And it's a much better start than last time, as we are already up the inside and into 5th place through turn 2, right in the slipstream of Skiffleet, I don't know. As we look for the inside, brake nice and early. We don't want to run too wide. Get the power on as soon as we dare. He's looking to get us on the cutback, but we won't let him. He won't be able to get us down the inside, I'm pretty sure of that, because we'll just brake later than the cars ahead, which means round the outside. What a move as we move up into 3rd place. 3rd place round the outside of that corner. That is a really nice move as we look for a really late lunge in as we move up into 2nd place. That was Daniel Ricciardo-esque, that late on the brake and down the inside, kind of similar to what he does in Hungary. Okay, I thought I could take that corner flat out, but it seems that I can't, so I had to brake midway through, which has compromised me massively. Otherwise I would be much closer to Mr. Red Car. Right, remember, brake nice and early for this corner. And you can see that we have caught him up slightly. We have 2.5 laps to go, so we do have time. So there is no point to overly rush this. And we do try to rush it too much through the left-hander. Right, let's get our heads down now and just drive really well. It's a quick lap right. Let's get turn 1 right this time. Yes, that was much better. And turn 2 should be flat. So we drop down into 5th. Yes, we've pulled away from the guys behind and we are catching back up to 1st. This is really good. Now let's just get this corner spot on. That was quite nice. I think we're catching him. I don't want to get too excited. We do have to get this next corner again. I'm going to say the same word, spot on. And it feels like it's spot on, but we aren't catching, and that is the issue here. We needed to stay closer to him at the end of the 1st lap. That mistake might prove to be costly as we begin our final lap, and unless he makes a mistake, it looks like we will be finishing in 2nd. I mean, we are setting faster and faster lap times as we take the 1st corner flat out, so we can do it flat. I must have just made a mistake under entry. He's going a little bit defensive. I just want to try a really late lunge, but that wouldn't be very professional of me. You know what? I'm going to lunge it into the last corner. I will do the lunge. We're catching up to 1st, but 3rd is catching up to us. He's just too far ahead. Maybe if it was about half the distance, I would go for the lunge. And we went for it, but there we go. It will be a 2nd place. Let's see what that does for the championship. We move up into 3rd. Yes! Without even doing one race. So, if we had got 100 points, which is 11th place, we would have been 1st equal. So if we had just got 11th place in Bathurst, we would have won this championship. So I'm fairly happy with that. I'm actually really happy with that. We didn't do one of the races, and yet we have managed to progress through this series. Wow. So 3rd place, I'll take that. So do let me know, what would you like to see next? The V6 Championship, which races at Oschersleben and Mondello International, World GT and GT. We will be in. Okay, I don't know what car we're in, but it will be Bathurst, Circuit, Zandvoort, Laguna Seca and Hockenheim. Or we can do the Tri-R Trans, the Honda. So Brands Hatch, Snetterton, Mondello and Laguna Seca. So I personally prefer this. I don't want to do the World GT purely because Bathurst is in there. But yeah, do let me know in the comments which one you'd like to see. Thank you guys very much for watching, and stay milky.